Greetings. This is my explanation for the routine and the two shall become one, which is a smaller part of a larger performance that I do to music and don't speak. But in this case, you probably want to speak to the bride and the groom, or the husband and wife, depending on how the performance works out. Now, this is part of the routine, talks about marriage and illustrates marriage, the unity of husband and wife coming together and being one, as Jesus spoke about in Matthew 19:5. It uses three 18-inch silks. A white 18-inch silk, a red 18-inch silk, and an 18-inch heart silk, and a utility device known as a palmo, which I'll talk more about in just a second. Before I get into the setup and the routine itself, I want to talk to you a little bit about management of your silks. Now, I used to perform, and when I was done, I'd take these silks and put them in a plastic bag, and then later on try to get the wrinkles out of them. But I've discovered since then, a good way to manage these silks after performance is to use a 3/4 inch CPVC pipe, just like this one, which is a little longer than the 18-inch silks in this case. When you're done performing, you lay the silks out on a clean surface like this, and you begin rolling them onto the CPVC pipe, just like this. And as you roll it up, use your hands and your thumbs to straighten out any kind of wrinkle or irregulation into it. Make sure, of course, that it's on a clean surface. Roll it up just like this. And then a small piece of paper, and I roll that into the paper as well. That way it protects the silks not only from the wrinkles, but it keeps them clean. Put the rubber bands around the ends, and you have what is pretty much a wrinkle-free container for your silks. I've also labeled here on the paper so I know exactly what's inside this container. I put this in my suitcase and I'm ready to go. Just a little bit about silk management that I've discovered. Okay, for the routine, you start out with a palmo. Now, the palmo is a metal device which has a large hole in one end and a smaller hole in the other, and it's tapered somewhat to keep the silks from coming out to a certain degree. You start off with the 18-inch heart silk. You start with the tip of the heart silk. You push that into the larger hole, put your finger in the smaller one to keep it from coming out, and you've kind of accordion fold that gently into the palmo gimmick, just like that. Fits very well. Then you put that aside for later use to demonstrate. Now, you can produce the red silk and the white silk in any way, any fashion you'd like. I've discovered one way to do that is to actually put the white silk into the large hole of the palmo, just like that. Now, these will fit in there. They are tight, but they do fit. Just again, you just kind of accordion fold, push them down in there, and you have the red and white silk inside the palmo as well. And have the palmo hidden in your hand or somewhere where you can obtain it. Come out, gesture towards the groom perhaps, and produce the red silk. Gesture towards the bride and produce the white silk, just like that. Now, you can also have the red and the white silk separate, laying on the table in front of them, and talk about how Christ gave his life for the church. And in the same way, we should love our wives as Christ loved the church. And you also talk about the bride being holy, without stain or wrinkle, just like Christ prepared the church. Either way you want to do it, but once you have them, you then need to obtain the palmo gimmick. Now, if you've just pulled these out of the palmo gimmick, then you of course have it in your hand, ready to go. But if you need to have it separate, one thing I've come up with is a little device that I made out of metal. Just a metal wire and a pin. I pin this inside my jacket, and the tension holds a palmo gimmick just like that. I reach under my jacket and pull it out right off of the device like that. It's just a simple wire, bent in a V shape. It has tension in it, and the ends of it hold on to the pommel gimmick. That's simple. Okay, once you have obtained the pommel gimmick, you have it in your left hand. You push in the red silk and the white silk, talking about the unity of a husband and wife, and pulling out from the bottom the heart silk. And as you do this, it appears you're merely passing the red and the white silks through your hand. Now you can control the amount of the red silk, the heart silk coming out the bottom with your finger right here. Your little finger holds against it like that to keep it from pulling all the way out, because you don't want to pull it all the way out while these are still out there. You continue to push in the red and the white one and pulling out the heart silk. Push in, pull out. Finally, when the red and white ones are all the way in, you push your finger in the top of the pommel gimmick and pull it off completely. Grasp the corners of the heart silk and display it, showing that the two have become one. Just like that. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email me at aa@andrewsfamilymagic.com. I would be happy to hear from you. Thank you very much, and blessings to you.